So I adopted these girls, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe less, just somewhere between 1 and 2 weeks ago. And they were on some substrate that was given to me when I adopted them. They had a little hide that was given to me when I adopted them, and I just added in, what they needed, the water dish and some extra substrate and stuff like that. And this is the container I put them in for quarantine, because whenever you adopt an animal or bring a new animal into your home, if you have more animals in your collection, you definitely want to quarantine so that just in case they have something, you don't want to give it to them. Well, thank goodness I did, because it turns out they had mites. Now, snake mites are little black beetles, and so you're definitely not going to see them on a dark colored snake. But what I did see all over their bedding were white specks. It was like somebody put flour almost all over the top layer of their bedding, and that is the poop from the mites. So I have already soaked them for about 20 minutes in lukewarm water just by itself so they could hydrate. And then I dumped that out and got some new lukewarm water and added some Dawn dish soap to the water because it breaks the water tension. And it will make it so that the mites can't keep that little air sac around them with the water tension, and it will suffocate them and they will fall off and die. So I'm not going to depend on that alone. So I did each of those soakings for 20 minutes. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to mix up some ivermectin, to not only put on the animals themselves, but to spray the habitat. I'm going to spray these paper towels so that when they're crawling on it, it's just going to be damp with the ivermectin, and it's going to kill the mites. I'm not going to put a water dish in here because I don't want them to go into a water dish and wash off the ivermectin. So they will not have a water dish for 3 days. After 3 days, I can put the water back in, but I want to repeat this process in 7 days. All right, so I have this 32-ounce bottle, and I am going to mix some ivermectin and some Dawn dish soap in there. I am going to have 6 drops of Dawn dish soap in there. Again, it just breaks the water tension so that it will help suffocate and kill the mites that are on the snake. Ivermectin desiccates the mites by drying it, so it dries them out, so that it can dry your snake out too, which is why you only want to do this. You're only going to coat your animal 2 times in a 7-day period, because you don't want to make your animals sick by dehydrating them. Now, how much of this am I going to put in here? It depends on how strong the ivermectin is. So if I have a 1% solution, I'm going to put 3 teaspoons in this 32-ounce bottle. If I have a 0.5% solution, I'm going to put 6 teaspoons into this bottle. So let's look at the label and find out what we have. Okay, so if we look here, it says 5 milligram ivermectin per milliliter. So that is a 0.5%. So that means we're going to put 6 teaspoons of this in our 32-ounce bottle. I got this from Tractor Supply. It was $28.99, I believe. And that's as of May of 2024. So I'm going to go ahead and get this measured out and put it into this bottle. Give me a moment. You can see this little bottle has a way for you to pour what you need into this container so that you can pour it into your actual container that's going to deliver it. So I want to, let me do some math real quick. Oh, I just need to amend. I actually need 8 teaspoons, not 6. I apologize. So if it's a 0.5%, you need 8 teaspoons. If it's a 1% concentration, you'll need 4 teaspoons. Teaspoons equates to 38 milliliters, and this only goes up to 25 milliliters. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it like just under the 20 milliliter line a couple of times. We're just going to pour that in there twice. So we want it around 19 milliliters. So it's just going to be just underneath the line, and put it in there twice. First, I'm going to put the Dawn dish soap in here, and I don't have a steady hand with my hands being messed up. Any of you that have watched my videos, you'll know Now this does come out in a stream, so it's hard to like get actual drops. So you just kind of estimate. You can't have too much Dawn dish soap. It's not going to hurt your snake. You'll be fine. But we do want to make sure that we don't have too much of this. So I'm going to go ahead and pour what I need in here. Okay, so I've got it just a little bit under the 20 mLs here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that cap off and pour it into there, and then I'm going to do it again. Poured one in there, and now I'm just gonna, I need to just pour off a little bit more of this, and I'm gonna pour that in there as well. So hopefully I don't pour off too much. Oh, I poured off too much. It's tricky. That should be good. All right, I can't do this one-handed. All right, here we go. Definitely smells medicinal. Alrighty. And the next step now is to fill this the rest of the way with water. Kill two birds with one stone and rinse out this this guy here while I'm filling it. There we go. All right. And always, whenever you're putting any type of a chemical in a bottle, if it's not just water, you need to mark what it is. So that's why I've wrote on the bottle ivermectin solution. This solution can be sprayed on the enclosure. It can be sprayed on the animal, but never in their face, eyes, or mouth. But what I'm actually going to do is spray it onto a towel and then have the snake just crawl through the towel so it gets coated on their body that way. There we go. So I've got my paper towel laid down here. I've got my solution made. I'm going to spray this paper towel down and then have the snakes walk through my hand, essentially. I'm also going to spray the paper towels that are in their enclosure so that they're always on it. And then that way, any mites that are still alive on them, even after soaking them, will die. And then I will, after 3 days, give them their water. And then at 7 days, we will then repeat the process because this does not kill the eggs. It only kills the ones that are already here. So we want to make sure to kill anything that may have hatched. All right. I just had to set the phone down so I'd be able to show you the process of actually applying it to the snake. So, because these snakes are just going to be way too wiggly. So I've already soaked my towel. And now I'm just going to kind of hold the snake in the towel and just let her crawl through. This is just essentially coating her body with the ivermectin. And that way it's not stressing her out. By the way, if anyone's wondering, she is a melanistic eastern garter snake. Oh, are we not going to cooperate? Come on, I need you to crawl through it. There you go. I'm going to let you climb out. There we go. Now we're crawling through it. So we're getting coating. See, we don't need to spray them heavily on their body. I just need to get it on their body. And then she's good. So once she's crawled through this wet towel that has the ivermectin on it, she is good to go. And then I'll do the same with the other one and spray down their enclosure. There we go. Oop. All right, repeating the process with my Radix Plains garter snake here. They were adopted together. So I just need her to crawl through the wet paper towel so she gets coated. Can you see? So she's crawling forward, which is coating her with the ivermectin. There we go. There we go. And she is now coated with the ivermectin. Now we're going to spray the enclosure. So, going to get this sprayed down. It's really hard to do one-handed for me. because I've only got 2 fingers that I'm able to bend on a normal day. But one of those fingers is so swollen I can't bend it, so we're doing the best I can with what I got. There we go, nice and wet. And now we are going to put them in here, and they're going to sit for 3 days. Then I'll give them their water, and then at 7 days we will do this again. As you can see, the girls are now in here. So that is the end of the video on how to treat your snakes for mites. Now, because mites can walk and they can like walk out of these little holes and stuff and get around, I also need to, I'm going to take the same solution and I am going to spray the shelf that they were sitting on, just to make sure that they are not going to be spreading around my reptile room or anywhere else in the house for that matter. Luckily, snake mites do not affect mammals or any other animals. They only affect reptiles, mostly snakes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will answer to the best of my ability. Thank you for watching.